the whole world to say it's my world. I want the American dream, I want a blonde girl. I just want a mansion and a yacht, I want to make it to the top of the hill, and I want to stay real. All I want is like 88 mil that I can flip into at least 8 bills. Straight skills, pay bills and taxes. I want to have mad kids, and I want all my kids to have mad kids. I want the masses to say my album is a classic, and I want all my albums to go platinum. I want to stop rapping and start acting, put out movies, and let my kids get into fashion. All I want is the American pie. You know, a big fat slice of that American lie. Same dream they sold that made America fly into the sky, to the moon, back to Houston. Bullshit.
I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
You see, everything's in order, no. I can't sleep, my dreams catching up to me. Lucid, leave me away. You see, everything's in order, you know.
I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
Is everything that you got, cause by now everyone knows I ain't had a lot. Coming up it was rough, rusty pans and pots, so as a young man I demanded it all. Is a house and a car, plus another house just so I can house this broad, plus another car that can go really, really far, and a ticket out of space after they land on Mars. Is the Slauson Mall, you know, a place where all my grandsons can shop and ball. I need a brand new shirt, new watch and shoes for all my brothers and cousins, uncles and nephews. There's a private island for refuge and a studio space with like 16 rooms for all kind of artists that be recording and rehearsing in my own record company to put out the recordings. Is a gang of more money. I want to house the homeless. I want to feed the hungry. I want to cure diseases. I want to stop brutality. I want to pay for the best education for my family.
I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
You see, everything's in order, no. I can't sleep, my dreams catching up to me. Lucid, leave me away. You see, everything's in order, no.
I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
You see, everything's in order, no. I can't sleep, my dreams catching up to me. Lucid, leave me away. You see, everything I know you want.
Is to live forever, and not just me, but me and my family all together. Go to church more, pick up the Bible, read a verse more, live up to my idol, show them I'm worth more for sure. It's more money than Trump, plus a private jet so I can fly wherever I want, plus enough money to put all my family members in school and pay their rent and stay legit cause I'm cool. All I want is to make my own rules, that way all the other states can get hot too, and tell the immigrants ride through whenever they want. Global citizenship, bitch, fuck Trump. All I want is us to stop eating meat. Vegetation makes you stronger and the cycle complete. All I want is all the best things for all human beings. I just want to be G.O.D.
I see it clearly when I close my eyes. I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
You see, everything's in order, no. I can't sleep, my dreams catching up to me. Lucid, leave me away. You see, everything's in order, no.
I can't sleep, my mind's catching up to me. Dreams keeping me awake.
Now, why talk about this? Is it interesting? Is it important for the human being to realize that in some sense of the word, whatever it means, he is God or one with God?
It's the Wizard Show! Hello there, fellow wizards. It's me, Wade the Wizard, and we are live for the first time ever, episode 1. And I'm so excited. Today's episode 1 is about dreams. This may be backwards in like a mirror image sort of thing. So yeah, we're talking about dreams today. Had one of my favorite songs to open the show, and hopefully that audio was working out. I don't really know how the system works, but it's exciting. We're here. We're gonna do it. Wizard Show, unscripted, mostly unscripted, uncensored. I'll tell you right now, you should put the kids to bed. Because this is not a children's show. And I've got Nitro right here. All right, so what's first? I guess I would like to start off. So throughout the night, we're going to have different games, stories, and other fun fun things. Yeah, so we'll see. And I've got a special guest coming on later. Very excited about that. Okay, we've got one viewer. This is great. But you know what? It's going to be awesome. I'm going to start off. Oh, okay, here we go. That's fine. With a little story. Are you ready for that? Doesn't that sound fun? Right here, I've got. I need a cooler cover, but this is something very exciting I've been working on. This is my doodle diary. So I started it back in October of last year. So this is where I draw some wacky pictures and I journal about my life. Yeah, well, let's see. So I wanted to share one of those with you. Do you want to bring in the drink? So yeah. This is the one I'm going to show you. I wish this showed up better, this picture. But that's me as a tree. So, oh, what is that? What is this? Hold on a second. We have Phoebe, the magical potion pheasant. Let's see what we have in store for us today. Oh. I wonder what it's gonna be. Let's see. Oh, all right. Wow, look at this. What do we have here? A nice, beautiful little green drink. I thought so. This is a nice little absinthe drink made with a little bit of honey and generous, not too much water. I like it a little strong. I like it punchy. So this is my little potion for the show. All right. Now, time for a little story. 2,000 years or so ago, a baby tree was born. It was no special tree by any means, just a regular tree in a regular forest. The years went by and this tree continued to grow. The decades and centuries continued to march on with a restless beat of time. The trees went unnoticed. Finally, someday in 1879, someone saw this tree and said, "Holy fucking shit, that's a big-ass tree," or something like that. This tree was measured and declared the world's largest tree by volume, not by height or diameter. And they named it General Sherman. Many years after this tree was named, a human came to see. He was no special human by any means, just a regular human in a regular world. Such an incredible moment to meet this amazing tree. What a legend. At first, there was a lot of distractions with many other normal people taking normal pictures, but then there was a moment, maybe just a few seconds, but the impact felt huge. I met the General Sherman. Our souls connected and as our paths crossed. I imagined what it must feel like to be this amazing tree, what his life had been. Today is the first day, this is back in January 1st. Today is the first day of the new year, 2024. Today is also the first day back from our vacation. I've been feeling some hope and some dread. After every relaxing holiday vacation, I dread the idea of going back to the regular life. Every New Year's Day, I have a feeling of hope for great years, but I also feel a struggle to escape the normal life and do what I want to do. Live my dreams. Become someone great. So many times I've thought, maybe tomorrow, after such and such happens, once I accomplish that one other thing, perhaps then I will accomplish my dreams. Why not this year? Why not 2024? Yeah, now I've got some of my dreams here. The Wizard Show. Wizard Show is number one, and we are doing it right now. Yeah. So also running for president, buy a house. I got an idea for a show, a cooking competition show called Baking Baked. We'll see if we can get that in the works. And my doodle diary, I'm going to be working on that and maybe publish it one day. We'll see. All right. Well, next thing, let's see. I have my brother Mac online here. His mic wasn't working earlier, but maybe if you give it a test, and I hear you. Testing. You can hear me, maybe. Well. Oh, the joys of streaming live. Well, maybe while he figures that out, because I don't think there's anything on my end. All right. What I wanted to do, I have a little show and tell for you. I really enjoy vessels for liquids. We saw this one earlier. This is a crystal glass I got at a thrift store. This is my absinthe drinking glass. Let's see. I'm gonna show you these in no particular order. You know, no, I'll save some of my favorites for last. This is also another one of my favorites. Oh, look at that. Look at the way that shines. Oh my goodness. So this is an insulated, thermal mug. And it used to be this boring satin finish, but I polished it up nicely. I got rid of the stupid logo. Got my nice fresh water down there. This is one of my favorite glasses. This is my old-fashioned whiskey glass. I like to have whiskey or scotch in this, and I like that it has the gold rim there. All right, let's see what else we got here. Also, by the way, there may be a chance for somebody to win a cool prize, win one of these drinking vessels. Look at this guy here. So I actually tried to convert it into a candle, but this is normally a nice little goblet for drinking maybe wine or something. Speaking of goblets, look at that. That's actually got a good sound maybe. Nice. Look at all these facets, all these shiny golden facets. Pretty cool. What else do we got here? Well, we got a couple jars, or I got this bottle. Has these. This is a glass bottle that I put some custom wine brews in. Got a nice little flip top. Love it. All right. Let's see. What else we got? We got a few more things. We got this big. Ooh, that actually. Maybe I'll make this into some kind of light or something. That could be a interesting light fixture. I'll show you. Okay, so this one, Oh, I just love some good pottery. This is a nice handcrafted mug that I got from the Oddities Expo. Really cool. And it's from Wasp and Bone. What else do we have here? So this has got to be one of my favorite mugs. It's got a little bit of love there. It's got a little chip on it. This little guy here, I actually got all the way from Bulgaria, and I was packing up all my things, and I almost forgot. Well, I did forget this, but I had my friend ship it in the mail to me, and it got here just fine. I think that chip was from something else, but that is one of my favorites. So these were the ones that kind of inspired it. I wanted to show my favorite drinking vessels because I had the opportunity to do some pottery throwing. So I threw this one. It turned out a little bit smaller than I thought, but I think it works just great as like a little tiny shot of whiskey or something. And then this one, look at this baby. Oh, I just absolutely love this. It's got a thick, like it's got some good weight to it. It's nice, fits the hand nice. It's got a good matte color to it. What I like to do is just do like some scotch or whiskey, about a double, little splash of water, maybe one little ice cube. And that is one of my favorite little drinking glasses. All right. Well, first time on the Wizard Show. You know, if something we're just trying new things out. You know, this was part of my dream. We're talking about dreams today, and I've always wanted to do the Wizard Show, and I for so long it's always been like, oh, I'm too busy at work, or you know, I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, like, and this isn't really what I envisioned, but I'm doing it. You just got to get out there and do it. And we're gonna maybe hear from Mac. He's in the studio. And I see his face. Maybe I'll try and add you to the stage.
Hey, Wade.
Oh,
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, good. That's what I was
This
thinking
is
is that, yeah, you could just see me before, but now that I'm live, now you can hear me. So that's great. So are you ready for me to just go for this and do my 2 minutes of movie time?
Yes. So this segment for our fellow wizards out there watching, this is Mac's Movie Minutes. My brother Mac, we just love talking about movies. So the time is yours.
Thank you, Wade. And I'm super excited. And you know what? I was going to talk about a different movie, but as I got on here and you were doing your wizard introduction, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to switch my movie last minute because I want to talk about the life and adventure of Santa Claus. Now you have to make sure you get the right one because this is the Rankin Bass one. So you remember those stop animations, like the classic Rudolph and whatever. For some reason, this one's not as popular, but you have to find the right one from 1985. They remade it into just like a good old fashioned cartoon or whatever in the 90s. But this is the one I think you need to look for because it is the most like Lord of the Rings-esque Christmas thing I've ever seen before. They have this wood elf and he has like these giant wooden like antler type things. There's like fairies. There's these the enemy are these weird like demons with like teeth that just like, you know, because of stop animation, like all the characters are super weird and interesting. But yeah, if people are able to find that and they want to throw that on in their Christmas season, like it's so crazy. It has Santa Claus being this like orphan baby, and for the first part of his life, he's raised by like Shiegra, the tiger, or the lion, and it's just super weird, but at the same time, so cool. I mean, at one point, like the wizards have like an axe or something that shoots lightning to defeat the dragon that's going to stop Christmas or whatever. But it's super awesome. And if people haven't gotten a chance to check it out, I was able to get a copy of it on DVD. But again, you just have to be careful that you're not getting the 90s cartoon. I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard it's good in its own way, but it's not this, it's not like Lord of the Rings meets Santa Claus first. It meets stop motion for whatever reason. But
was this the remake that we want to watch, or the original?
The original Rankin Bass version from 1985 is the one you're going to want to look for. So you'll know right away whether it's like stop go animation, right? And if that's the one you're watching, then I think you're in for a fun adventure. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Well, thank you for. Now let's see. I don't know how to switch this back, but thank you for Max Movie Minutes.
Yes, you're welcome.
Have a good one. All right. So with that, I believe it is time. You know what? Maybe we'll have a commercial, because I don't know that I see Jordan. Jordan is off getting ready. The Jordster L Hyde. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this. This is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Jordster. Yeah, dude. I'm loving this gold. This like gold jacket.
I had to throw something on for you for the
Yes.
Wizard Show.
Of course. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. The first time doing this, and we're gonna work through the bumps. We're gonna make it work, and maybe one day, and you'll be able to say I was the first guest on the Wizard Show.
Dude, Mac's voice was tripping me out because I haven't seen Mac in so long. That was like the perfect podcasting voice. I was not expecting that from him.
I do believe I know he's done a podcast, but I don't know. I mean, with some other friends. I don't know if he's done a regular podcast, but yeah, that mic was something else.
Here, I'm grabbing something for you. Since you were talking about vessels, I'd make a bunch of stuff with ceramics too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here is a teapot I made not too long ago.
Nice girthy spout.
Yeah. Nice little top there.
Do you use it regularly, or do you?
I haven't really used this one. It's the handle is a little bit let's say compromised. I mean, it's probably fine, but I had to heavy glaze it because it didn't attach too well. So that's a nice piece I made here about three or 4 months ago. Here's like a cool juicer I made. It's got
nice.
a sweet glaze on it.
Does it work well?
Yeah, this one works okay. Let me see what else I got lying around here. Oh, you're there. You look like you were frozen. So here's a cool, since you're a vessels guy, here's a cool mug I made. And this actually isn't glaze. This is how you layer the clay. You can use different types of clay to layer it.
That's just a clear glaze?
It's a clear glaze, yeah.
Nice.
So there's just a pretty cool little mug I made. Got a big handle on it, but it's the layering of the clay. You use like a black and a tan clay. Almost looks like wood. It's pretty cool.
And do you drink out of that regularly?
Yeah, I like this one. I use this one a lot.
Nice. For those of the other wizards who are watching, just as a bit of background, my friend Jordan, we met over 3 decades ago. We met before I even remember.
Yeah, we've been. Wade is my longest living friend.
Like, I don't remember when we first met. Do you?
No, but here you had that intro about General Sherman. Here's a cool ceramics piece my mom got me. It's the General Sherman tree.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Wait, but so your mom just like bought it from somewhere?
Yeah, because she knows I'm a big botany plant nerd. This was a Christmas gift she gave me probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And now I'm up here in the redwoods. I still haven't gone down here to see this particular tree, but I'm up next to all the big coast redwoods. So
Nice. What's the plaque say on the side there?
it says, quite often it is hard to imagine anything more amazing than what already exists.
That's some good advice.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. Most things we come up with, it's already here. And cheers, my friend. Here's to a good first episode. Drinking a strong stout here for you.
Nice. Well, buddy, today's episode, we're talking about dreams, and I mean, I am interested to hear about, like, more like long-term dreams that you might have, but also, maybe later we can get into like dreams or things. Maybe we'll start there. Why not? I'm just kind of interested in like some of your biggest accomplishment dreams that you've done throughout your life, like past things that you've done in your life that you're most proud of.
Okay. Well, I wish I could say there was more, but most of them have just been, personal endeavors as far as pushing the mind and the body beyond things that I thought I could do at the time, but you grow as a person, you get older, and those dreams and aspirations change because you have a greater outlook on who you are, and you have a better understanding of what you're able to achieve, right? So for me, a lot of them have been like peak bagging. I like to go to the tops of the peaks. A lot of people don't understand, hiking to a 14,000 foot peak per se, or why you do it, but you can't really explain it until you do it, right? And most people who have done it understand it, but it's really just about pushing yourself, struggling, planning. A lot of it's planning, and making sure you're good and safe and all those types of things. Once you get to the top and you've made it there through the cold and through the snow and through the worry and the other things that come with hiking mountains, those are some of my favorite accomplishments so far, for sure.
Any like mountains in particular that you were especially proud of summiting?
Well, I actually did one not last year, but the year before, with some folks out here in California when I moved out here, and it was the first 14er I've ever done. And
14,000 foot?
Yeah, it's called Mount Williamson, and it's the second highest peak in California, and it's the 6th highest peak in the contiguous U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did that one on a whim with a guy I work with. It was his 55th birthday. And moving out here and becoming a manager and having this different type of job that I do, I no longer do manual labor, so I'm fat, at least for my term. And so I was very unprepared, but somehow managed to beat. I went with a kid who's done I don't know what did he say. He's done like 10 or 12 14ers, somewhere in that range. And I made it to the top before him. He was going to give up. And then I made it to the top, and I had to force him to get up there. And he's 10 years younger than I am, too. So not only was that cool that I made it to the top, but I made it before this guy who's done plenty of them, who's much younger than me. So that kind of boosted my ego a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and you said the guy was 50 years old?
Yeah, he was turning 55. One of them, I went with two other guys. He didn't quite make it to the top, but the kid who was, I think he's 23 or 24, he's the kid who's done 14, like 10 or 12 14ers. So he's a good one to do stuff with out here, because I can trust him, because he's been on kind of the same type of trajectory as far as being outdoors like I have.
So did you have, I guess, like how many days was it? It
was so we hiked up to a base camp the first night, which was like I think it was at 9,000 something feet, and then you get up the next day and you grab the peak, and that's at a little over 14,000. So that's a whole other day. You go get the peak, and then you come back, and then use the third day to go back to the bottom. Nice. So it was over 3 days. Yeah. So it was cool. Larry almost made it to the top. He made it to probably about 13,000, 13,500, but we just ran out of time. So, but it would have been awesome if he made it to the top there. He's never done anything like that. He also had crazy, like, he just bought random gear to do this super heavy stuff. I could only imagine what his pack felt like. I know I picked it up a time or two, and it was just absurdly heavy.
Yeah, I've been on just short day hikes where I've got like a maybe 30-pound pack, and it's just like by the end, man, it's the worst.
Yeah, so it was I'm trying to remember, I think it was a 14-mile in, so it was like 9 miles to the base camp and then another 5 miles to the peak. So overall it was a 28-mile trip. But the crazy thing is it's over 10,000 vertical. So that's what makes it hard. It's basically just straight up. You're just switchbacking like the whole time. That's why there's a peak that's higher it's the second highest in California, but there's a peak, Mount Whitney, that's just over from it. You can see it, but it's way easier to do because it's not nearly the vertical, and you can basically drive, to like 3,000 or 4,000 feet below the peak and then hike from there. So that's how most people get the highest peak in California, but it's not nearly as difficult to get that 14er as it is to get the one we did.
Yeah. Well, because I was wondering, like I did Kings Peak here in Utah, or in Utah, and that's almost 1,400, but
yeah, I don't think they have. I think what's Kings like 12. It's like 13 something, right?
13,500. But yeah, the base I'm sure is already starting at like 8,000 or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just that one's a long one. I haven't done that one. I want to do it, but that one's just a long ways in before you go up. Basically, it was only like a mile or two before we started switchbacking for the one here. So the mountain range over there is cool. It's a ways away. It was like a 9-hour drive to get over there from where I live. But cool. So that was one of the cooler accomplishments I've had in a long time. Well, my dream in the future is definitely to travel. I haven't been to enough places at all. And it's like you say, no better time than now. People just make excuses for, I'll do it next year, or I don't have enough money, or whatever. But
yeah,
the one thing you can't get back in life is time. And you don't. The longer you wait, the older you get, the harder things are to do physically. So,
Seriously,
It's a
Tom,
good.
I've heard those like scenarios. It's like where if you give up 10 years of your life or something for $1 million, or would you do that? And I'm like, man, life is short, and when you only have got one to live, and there's just a short amount of time, and especially with just healthy years, like you were saying, you don't have a manual labor job, and it's just like you come home from work and it's so hard to do anything other than just chill.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have that motivation, and that's something that waxes and wanes, I think, with everybody. Some people are more motivated than others. But yeah, it's something I struggle with. Definitely is motivation. Sometimes I'm really motivated, sometimes I'm not. And a lot of it has to do with your aspirations and what you're able to achieve. And moving out here has been good financially for me. But as far as like a mental health and like me being able to do the things I want to do, it's been a strain. Let's put it that way.
How long did you move out there?
A little over 2 years now. So I'm not able to go fish and climb and do all these other things nearly as easy that I could back there. Again, I don't have you guys, my friends I grew up with. And then you grow apart from those people. You don't see them more. So you got to weigh those. And, that's something I've been thinking about is I'm going to try to pay my truck off this year. It's the only debt I really have. And then I might just go travel for 6 months or a year next year. I'm not getting any younger. I don't have anything holding me back. I'm not kind of like you. I mean, we're getting older now. Now that I go take these jobs, I'm the old guy. You know what I'm saying? So we're not getting any younger, and I don't have a family or a house that I own or anything else that's really holding me back from being able to just leave for a while. So you keep saying you got to do it eventually. So
come visit New York.
Say what?
Come visit New York.
Are you in New York?
Yeah. So I moved out. So I'll try and give you the short version of it. I met my partner Jade, Wade and Jade. So she was on a job. She was living in New York, and she was on a job in Utah just for like 3 weeks, and we met and just completely hit it off. And we were long distance, kind of keeping in touch with each other. And I visited her over the holiday break last year, 2022 to 2023. And I came back from that vacation, and like Monday morning, I go into work and they're like, hey, we're going to demote you from an engineer to just a general laborer. I'm like, I don't think so. I think I'm going to give you my 2 weeks notice and hit the road. So I sold my house. I sold, some other stuff, and like just packed up my car. And so I drove my car, and my dog Nitro, he was still in Utah, flew back, and I was going to fly with him, but the only flight was from LA to New York, and that was like $1,000. So I ended up renting a van, drove across the country again with Nitro, and then it's like pretty much officially moved in.
Okay, so where are you at in New York?
It's kind of between Queens and Brooklyn.
Oh, you're in the city.
Yeah, pretty close. It's about a 20-minute subway ride right into the thick of hell.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, moving out to California, you miss some things, and like I miss a lot about Utah, but overall the move has been a great change.
Good.
Like I miss Utah, but there's a lot that I don't don't miss. And like New York is just a whole new life, whole new experience.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to do, man. One of the best things I ever did for progressing my mind state was when I left there initially and went to Florida. I think everybody needs to leave there, and that's the problem with the LDS community is that everybody is always there. They don't ever move elsewhere because they're family oriented. Everybody lives there. So then the culture is all the same. The culture doesn't really expand because nobody ever brings in these outside cultures. So the only way you get a different experience beyond Utah is if you're by the base and you meet people that don't live there or weren't originally from there. So one thing that I thought was amazing when I went to Florida, man, is I met people from England. I have a friend there now is from Jamaica. I met people from like crazy islands. I met people from Canada, like I said, England, like the UK. We had friends from Jamaica, the islands. We had friends from all over the place. I met most of these people playing soccer, which is a very cool sport that brings all types of cultures and people together. But it's a whole different melting pot that you don't get in Utah. I mean, Utah is great in itself, but you need to get outside of Utah for a while to really appreciate what it is. And you can't really understand what it is if you don't ever leave there. Coming out here has been good too, but everybody, I've been encouraging my to leave. My parents say the thing when they left. So
So where are they at now?
They're in Florida. So they've been in Florida for
they're still in that same place?
They've been there for like 7 or 8 years or maybe more. Yeah. They love it over there. So I just went and visit them for the holidays, and their house is looking great. They've pretty much redone the entire thing. All the stuff that I planted there when I was living there, and their yard's doing great. Grapefruit, kumquats, loquats, avocados. My dragon's blood, I don't remember that, but that thing's down there is huge. It's growing down there too. So it's been really good down there for them, and I'm happy that they enjoy it. So
nice. Well, I think I want to try this. I'm just trying to learn this new system, but let me. We have a commercial break I want to jump to, so let me try that.
Brought to you by Buffalo Trace Whiskey.
What is your video sound like? Go to artlist.io and get the best music and sound effects for your videos. This is not the real world. This is your.
Guys, Cody and the gang are at the park playing football with down Darius Jackson. Let's go!
You're not going anywhere without your big game liquid slam.
Excellent!
Go long. This one's going downtown. Whoa!
Whoa! No, I got a full team. Yeah!
Liquid slam!
Liquid slam!
Oh! Jesus Christ! Come on!
Oh. Tough day, kids? Well, I've got just the thing. How about some big game pizza pigskins?
Yeah.
Hungry got me in a grapple. Big game pizza pigskin is my hunger that you tackle. All day, every day, big
Touchdown,
game.
Mrs. D.
Big game pizza pigskins for your taste, but the touchdown. Sack your hunger with Big Game Pizza Pigskins. Pizza that tastes better on a football. With adult supervision.
And now I'm unmuted. That is great. Thank you. So anyway, I want to talk about, did you have any like dreams or goals as a kid that you essentially grew out of, or just some silly dreams that you ended up not doing?
I don't know. Why don't you start? Let me think about it.
Yeah, so like I remember I was super committed at one point to becoming a dentist. I don't know why. I just thought like it would be good money. I was just looking for the money. I was chasing the dollars, and but man, now like the idea of getting in someone's mouth and digging around and stuff, like, oh, that's the worst nightmare.
Oh, it's that gold tooth, man. That's funny. No, actually, I don't have anything that I wanted to do that I think was silly. I have some things that I wanted to do that I should have done and never did. One of those was to be a heli ski guide. One of the few things my dad kind of jostled me or would nudge me here and there. It's like, hey, write a letter to these guys. Write a letter to these guys. So it was early on, just emails. I was probably 12, 15 years old.
Oh, really? That young?
Yeah, well, you know how much I like skiing, and so that's something I wish. And if I ever have kids, that I will do is, especially nowadays, it's a lot easier. I think our parents' age, they didn't really, they didn't know it because it wasn't that case back then. But so you can basically make money doing anything you want nowadays, no matter what you're interested in. You can probably make a decent living doing it. So if I ever have kids, I'm just going to really push them to do or find a way to make an income stream from the things that they enjoy. And that's what I would have done. Free skiing, even free skiing. If I would have known that free skiing was going to blow up the way it has, I would have dedicated more of my time and effort into just pushing myself towards that lifestyle, because I think that would be a great way to live. Be able to ski all the time, travel during the summer to the places where it's winter, and ski. And I think you might not make $1 jillion, which isn't the goal. The goal is to be happy, right? The richest person the richest person isn't the richest person, or the happiest person isn't the richest person. The richest person is the happiest person. So,
and I think about like, yeah, when I think about like money doesn't buy happiness, and there's Nitro, he's getting up.
no, not at all. My uncle died a couple years ago on Thanksgiving. He's the guy who had a PhD. He had like 3 PhDs. He was a pathologist. This was my dad's brother. Had a gazillion dollars, and I hung out with him a few times. Probably when I was like 7th, 8th grade, I went and visited him. Spent some time with him in Minnesota and St. Paul. As a young kid, and one of the most influential things I've ever heard in my life was from him. And I still think about it all the time. Is he said to me, Jordan, I make more money than God, but that still doesn't make me happy. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, but you said that uncle died just recently?
Yeah, he died not this past Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before that.
One of my goals, one of my dreams, I just want to, not that I'm like going to be rich, but I definitely want to die with $0 in my bank account. I was working on this project the other day, and my drill bit was kind of dull, and I was just thinking, like, when I die, I want all my tools to be used, like every drill bit is completely dull, the hammers bang to hell, and like, just
a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It means you've used your life fully, right? You've used everything fully. Yeah. Yeah, it's an important thing in life, man. I don't think enough people think about that. It's a great. I wish we would have been able to grow closer together when we were younger. I think we'd be great friends now. And now we're literally completely across the country. So,
yeah.
But
Jade,
yeah,
my partner, her mom, and both of her sisters live in California, so we actually just over the holiday flew out to California, and
yeah, I think I saw you post something. I was like,
went up to Yosemite.
Come up my way, yeah.
What part do you live in now?
I live way up north, like the bottom edge of the Redwoods. I'm in Mendocino County. So I'm like 2 hours north of San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if is skiing? Is there any good skiing there?
I'm 4 hours from Tahoe. I'm like 4 hours from Shasta. So Mount Shasta's up north, and then Tahoe's like directly west, or excuse me, directly east. So, yeah, I definitely need to get out skiing too. That's one thing I haven't done, which is the passion of my life. And since I've come out here, I haven't skied at all. So
yeah, I mean, like you say 4 hours away, that's still like that's
on Tahoe, like everyone and their mom goes to Tahoe from Sacramento. Sacramento's humongous. It's the capital. It's not LA, but everybody in Sacramento drives up to Tahoe because it's like an hour drive. It's basically like where we lived to go to, Snowbird or something. So it just gets stacked with people.
Yeah.
And then it snowed so much up there in the last couple of years, though. So I should have gone. They had tremendous amounts of snow up there last year, just tremendous, which also makes it hard to navigate, get up there. You're going to be in traffic. I went there when I first moved here for New Year's 2 years ago. And even then it snowed like 8 feet or something in a small amount of time. And when I went up there, just trying to drive through Tahoe was an absolute nightmare.
But so that's the one that one's just an hour away for you?
No, that's 4 hours. There's nothing closer than 4 hours. I'm only 30 miles as the crow flies from the coast here. So everything's a windy road out here. It's full of woods. It's a cool area. So
you got to get into surfing.
Yeah. Surfing will be cool. Only problem up here is it's freezing cold. They call it the Lost Coast because it's freezing cold. Lots of like sharks and shit. People don't really surf up here because it's rugged terrain. I'd have to probably go more towards like there's Bombay or there's Tamales Bay and some other bays that are not, they're like 3 hours away or something. Half Moon Bay is one of the areas you can go to. And then if I go towards crazy San Francisco, I did work out on a spot called Stinson Beach, which is really cool. It's a bunch of people who live on the beach on this big kind of like sandbar that goes out into the coast. It gets warmer down there. It's less rugged. But yeah, walking around the woods, that's kind of what people do around here, if anything.
I love some woods.
I just moved up here, so I lived in the biggest city in Mendocino County when I first moved here, which is only like 15,000 people, and now I just moved a half hour north into a house. But I literally have redwoods in my front and backyard here. But it's a town of like 5,000 people, so there's nobody over here. But that's kind of how I like it. That's why I said you're the total opposite of me. You're in between megalopolis and megalopolis. So, different lifestyle.
Yeah. I try and avoid the city as much as I can. I was just thinking, we actually have this pretty nice little park, not too far from us, maybe 15, 20-minute drive or 40-minute drive, depending on the traffic.
That's the problem.
But yeah, it's home of the Alley Pond Giant, which is, I can't remember if I think it's the tallest tree in New York.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
You know what kind of a tree it is?
Let me see. Let me do a little search.
I am an arborist now, sir, so trees are my forte.
Giant. But yeah, it's a tulip tree measured in the year 2000 at a height of 133 feet.
It's got a good girth, though. It says 18.6 feet. That's a good girth.
Yeah. Pretty big for this.
Tulip trees are sweet. Go check it out. I don't know when it flowers over there, but they have these, they call it a tulip tree because it has big old flowers, which are kind of, unique on trees. It has a big, huge flower that like kind of looks like a tulip. And they can be large. I think it's heliodendron or tulipifera, something like that. Tulip tree.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Liriodendron. Yeah. So
pulling up some images of that.
Very cool trees, man. That's cool. So what do you do over there for fun now, Mr. Wade?
Yeah, so I moved over here throughout last year. It took a while to sell my house and then move out here. And then I was actually a bar back for a while. There, like a bar opened up just right across the street, but I quickly found out that was not the career path for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be career path.
Yeah, I mean, it was not good. Late nights and like just loud, noisy crowds, drinking way too much. But yeah, then I actually rode my motorcycle across the country. So after that job during the summer, flew out to Utah, drove my motorcycle.
It looked like a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
adventure.
It was an adventure for sure. Hey, right there, that was one of my dreams for sure. I thought like,
You go.
and you know what? It wasn't easy. It sucked a lot, and I really didn't think. I came pretty close to being just like, hey, I'm gonna,
Throw
you
in the
know,
towel. Yeah.
throw in the towel. I'm gonna just. I kind of did one day where I was just like, I drove like 1 hour, and it started raining again, and I'm like, fuck it, and I got a hotel and just like chilled.
Yeah.
But
I remember that. You kept saying, I avoided the rain. That's the biggest. Yeah, that's the biggest. I would think headache for motorcycling around for sure. It's also good that we're getting rain though. That's where like here, it rained like 2.5 inches yesterday or more. But that's also the reason why we don't have fires. Since I've been here, I haven't been on a fire. I can be pulled out to fires in the job that I'm at after the fire goes through to look at all the trees. And luckily, since I've been here in the 2 years, they've been able to. They're getting a lot better at like spotting fires as soon as they start too. And then like that's the whole reason my job exists, is because I work for the electrical companies that are being blamed for the fires due to negligence of maintenance of vegetation around their utility lines, right? So my whole job basically is fire mitigation. And I have to try to convince customers and clients of the utility company that their trees either need to be removed or trimmed. And some people understand and some people don't. There's thousands of people who do this job. But it's vital that it's there, and it's been cool to see that no major fires in this area have popped up in the last couple of years. So,
oh man, that's it. Well, but then so you were saying, but you're not doing the cutting or the falling of the trees, and
I look at the trees basically. I tell you, hey, this tree isn't healthy, or it has these problems and needs to be removed because it might fall into the lines and cause a fire, or there's certain regulations where it can only be so close to the lines, right? It's a compliance issue. But these utility companies, especially out here where I'm at, have neglected this for I don't know how many years. Never really had a maintenance program, and it's the woods out here. So they've been sued, and it's a lot cheaper for them to hire us, and we actually get paid really well. We're unionized. The only reason I came out here was because of the pay after they unionized, because California is not a cheap place to live. The taxes are ridiculous.
dude, when I was when like COVID-19, like I lost my job. We started working from home, and lost my job, and then I was looking for jobs everywhere and like thinking about moving outside of Utah. And there were some really cool jobs in California that I applied to, but then I was looking at like being able to move out there, and like, and I was just like, dude, I can't afford it, even if like they would have to pay me just these absurd amounts of it. And yeah, it's expensive living out there.
Yeah, I just so I'm actually not working right now. I'm waiting to start because it's all contract work, right? So you have different companies that bid for PG&E to take the job every year. And the company I was working for lost the bid because some people underbid them. And I was supposed to start when I came back from Florida here 2 weeks ago with the new company that won the bid. So what I did was I applied for the folks there. They accepted me. I got a new job, and I was managing people, and now I'm not managing people, and I'm making $10 more than I was making. So I make almost close to $60 an hour doing this job now. And if I didn't make that much money, I wouldn't stay out here. That's how much you get taxed. I don't know how people afford to have families and stuff out here unless you're making, you know, $150,000, $200,000 a year. And a family, if you have multiple kids, a mortgage, insurance, everything else, you both have to make $100+ grand, in my opinion, to live out here. So this isn't somewhere I necessarily want to stay. The other problem here is like I wouldn't mind buying this house that I'm renting here. It's a cool ass house. I'm in a cool ass area, but I'm in a high fire threat area. So if I were to try to buy this house or stuff over here, they have some crazy fire insurance, like $20,000 a year for fire insurance. So that adds another, $2 grand onto your mortgage every year just to pay for every month, just to pay for fire insurance. So if you already have a $2 to $3 grand mortgage, and then you have to pay $2,000 extra on that, can you afford $4 to $5 grand a month just to pay for that and some insurance? I don't know how people afford stuff out here. It's crazy.
For a hot second, I was looking at actually moving out to Hawaii, and so the Big Island. I found this there was this one cute little yurt that I was considering, but it was kind of like not really near anything. And I found this other house and like reasonably priced and everything. And then there's like the fine print. Oh, by the way, it's in a lava, volcano zone. So like they're not even going to insure you. They're just like, good luck, pray to the gods.
Yeah.
Just
when the pahoehoe and the Oahu or whatever the other type of lava comes, just let it take your house over, baby.
Yeah, man. No.
That's funny. Yeah, people don't think about a lot of that stuff either. It's all stuff you got to take into account. Life's expensive.
Trees. We wish we could go on a hike and climb some trees.
That was our past. We used to climb trees all the time.
You climb trees all the time?
That's what we used to do.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That was our childhood. You remember we would transverse your entire backyard without touching the ground.
Yeah. That's good. It's kind of crazy to see I've been back to my parents' house, and like the oak trees, they just grow so slow, but there's that one tree that was like just this little sprout when I was a kid, and now it's like a 6 foot tall, kind of getting that's probably actually bigger than that, but kind of fun to watch how the trees change.
Yeah, that's why they call it scrub oak out there, though. You got to realize you are on the edge of the desert there.
We've recently been getting into this show called Treehouse Masters. It's very silly, but there's this guy Pete, the Treehouse Man, and
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just got into season 2, but it's pretty fun. It's very wholesome, very just silly, and but I can't. Was it you and me? We threw a platform up in one of the trees in my backyard, and I can't remember. We tried to build a tree house, but it was
yeah, probably. I'm sure we did multiple times. Do you remember the rope trip, the rope traverse thing at my place that my dad set up?
Yeah, that was pretty high up.
Yeah, it was you would grab on the top and then walk on the other one and go across.
It was definitely not safe.
Your yard was 4 times the size of my yard. So those were good times, man. We lived on the trampoline too. That's one thing that's inherent in Utah is trampolines. Trampolines are. I got on a friend's trampoline out here just not too long ago. He's got a kid who's 7 or 8, and I got on there and was doing a backflip or two and over rotated, and I was feeling it the next day.
Oh yeah, shit. And well, like I remember, yeah, we would just like get home from school and just start jumping. And
We
like
probably jumped for 6 hours at a
there
time.
was a couple times when like, yeah, we Todd, he's not even that much older than us, but he was jumping with us. He's like, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired of jumping." I'm like, "Come on, bro. It's only been 3 hours." Boing, 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 boing. What the heck?
Yeah, jumping was our forte, man. That, climbing trees, had a good time.
And yeah, I was remembering when I was thinking about getting ready for this show, I was just thinking about all the. You were there for a lot of the big moments in my life, or I don't know, like when I broke my leg, when I got my concussion, when I
You broke your leg. That was insane. That was insane.
off a rickety old.
In the Larson's yard, man. And I remember running over to you and seeing your bone almost popping out of your skin. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, there was no question about whether that was
insane. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in real life. Like to actually see someone's leg like broken in half.
Yeah. And I guess you probably came up to my family's cabin quite a few times, didn't you?
Yeah, I think about that too. Like Josh and meeting Josh and Charlene up there, having a good time with those guys, and snowmobiling with you. Yeah, your cabin's a really cool spot. You guys still have that?
Yeah, we do.
Does it get used very much or not? Do I ever go up there?
I don't really know, man. I'll tell you.
Not as close with your family anymore, right?
Well, so actually, like, my oldest sister is still in the church, and then Charlene, they left the church.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Max in the church. Todd's been out for a while, so there's a few of us who have left Mormonism, but
yeah, Charlene and Josh, that doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah, no, they've been out for a few years now, and like their whole family too. Their girls and their little kid, but oh yeah, like my dad. Ever since I left, like there's just weird rules about the cabin. Like you can't drink alcohol up there, and like these weird rules that you can't be alone up there unless you're married, and you can't like have just like such stupid rules that it just
like
doesn't make
trying to keep
fun
you
to go up there anymore,
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it sounds like. Which I get. I mean, you can't. You got to understand that where they came from and how they feel. So it's I don't know. It is what it is. That's one thing I like about my family. They never forced anything on me. And that's what I thank them for all the time. I actually smoked a cigar with my dad for the first time here over Christmas. We were walking around, saw a cigar spot out in St. Augustine. We went and bought some cigars and smoked a cigar with my dad, which was kind of a highlight because I've seen him smoke a cigar when I was super young all the time. He used to smoke one. He used to smoke a cigar every time we'd go out to Jackson Hole. That was kind of his thing. He'd go out to Jackson Hole and smoke a cigar out there. So he hadn't smoked.
He didn't do cigarettes ever, did he?
I mean, my parents might as well have been LDS, except for they like to drink. So my dad recently revealed to me that a bunch of his friends in Minnesota, all his duck hunting friends and his close friends all smoke weed too. And now he's like, oh, and he's getting older. And now he's starting to like loosen up, and I can, talk to him about all these things. It's funny how you grow older with your parents. And I have such a great relationship with my parents. Like I can talk to them about anything. I've always been able to with my mom. And my dad is, he has his stipulations about things, but his idea of why weed was bad was because one of his best friends, that's kind of where he got the idea of what it is, was a Vietnam guy. And he was like a medic in Vietnam, and that's where they call it dope, right? And they would just use it to cope with the war down there. So I feel like that was kind of his perspective or his perception on what weed and some of these other things are. And so I don't blame him for thinking it's bad. And everything's bad if you don't know how to handle it, right? Everything in moderation, or everything in
Yeah, no, dude, honestly, it's like pretty, I see it pretty hypocritical where the Mormons, you know, they're saying like, oh, I don't drink alcohol or smoke, but I'll down a
caffeine
bottle of like,
just arguably much worse for you. Well, I remember we used to come back to your house and have a sleepover, and your mom we'd drink like 2 12-packs of Mountain Dew or some shit. That has like the worst shit in it that you can think of.
Yeah.
We'd make a fort there underneath your stairs or some shit, and you hang out. And then your mom was pretty cool though. She'd hook us up with toilet paper and shit and tell us to go out toilet paper in the neighborhood. So
that is seriously
a little more loose than my parents were at times.
I'm glad I still do have a good relationship with my mom.
That's good.
They're still.
That's funny though. So yeah, it's funny getting older and being your own person and seeing where your parents are coming from. And my mom, just to be completely honest with you, she's taken antidepressants for like as long as I can remember now. And I keep telling her to get them off of them. She's retired. She's done all this stuff, but she still takes them. But that's because they'd altered her brain chemistry. So she's really not the same. She's not the same person that she was 10 years ago. And it's kind of sad because like I have these conversations with my dad about it. My dad's very cognizant. He's 68 or something like that now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I was thinking like I thought your parents were younger, but
my mom's 70 now. So
oh wow, yeah, because my parents are like born in 55, so they're around that like just turning 70. And I guess I just always thought because I'm the youngest, my parents just started having kids right off the bat, not like your
parents. But yeah, it's weird how it progresses over time, right? And just my relationship with my dad and my parents, which is still really good, but you got to be able to be your own person and talk to them about these things. And it's funny how that's evolved, but then, you know, weed and all these other things are much more mainstream nowadays too. So, especially here, man, I live in the Emerald Triangle. It's crazy over here. I've walked all over grows. There's people, I have good friends out here that used to grow, that used to make millions of dollars every year. It's gone legal and they can't make money anymore. So they have properties and they have all kinds of assets that they have to pay for that they can no longer pay for because you can't get the money anymore out of an operation. If you try to go legal too, there's like, you got to set up handicap parking spots. They just try to fuck you in every single way that they can. And it's not feasible unless you have big backing from big companies to really form like a legitimate legal grow. So I know all these people used to come out here, you know, they were out here in the 90s making millions of dollars every year profit, just them. Not to mention all the trimmigrants, which might be a condescending word, but it's not. There's lots of people that come out here that are immigrants that want to grow weed that just trim. They used to make really good money though. I mean, you would come out here for a season and probably make, you know, 70, 80 grand trimming weed.
Or maybe take some home in your pocket. I don't know.
You smoke the whole time. I mean, so it's interesting learning this place because this is the place. Mendocino County and Humboldt are like the Emerald Triangle. This is where it was at. So
Check this
Been
out.
really interesting over here. There you go. Nice. Is that your first plant pressing as well?
Well, a friend gave this to me. Yeah.
Nice.
But
that's cool. They did a good job. I should grab mine. I used to, you know, as soon as I got into the botany stuff, I have all kinds of cool flowers and stuff that I've pressed into frames like that. My mom, in fact, has a endangered plant from southern Utah that I was working on that probably no one has pressed. Hopefully, this doesn't get recorded and sent to the International Botanical Society. But
they're gonna hunt you down.
Yeah. I worked on a rare, threatened, endangered plant down there, and you're not even supposed to do anything with it. But
what's it called?
There was some of it I took and I pressed and I gave it to my mom, and she's got it at her place.
Huh.
It's called the bear claw poppy. It's down in St. George, and it's probably even less prolific than it was before. James, some of these other folks. Trying to think if you knew anybody in that department that we used to talk about. But yeah, it's the expansion of St. George has taken over its population. It's probably not even really there anymore. I went back a few years after my internship and looked around in some areas where I knew it was at, and it had been taken over by houses. So very cool. Plants are awesome, man. If we didn't have plants, we wouldn't have anything. So.
Well, my good friend, I don't know. Maybe we kind of start winding this down. I think I think this went pretty well.
Do we have any viewers there, Wade?
We got a couple viewers, but you know what? This is gonna be public. Like, I mean, it'll be recorded. People can come back, watch it. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see. I got some pretty good viewership on some of my videos. It's weird because, like, you know, most of my videos get 100, 200 views, and then my last time I checked, so I made this one like dunk tank, the dunk tank of science, and it's got like maybe 300,000 views now.
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah. That like one video.
Yeah, nice. Well, Wade the Wizard, man, we got to come up with some themed stuff, or some things we can do. Some trivias, or come up with some ideas. I'd be happy to help you out, man. This is kind of a cool platform. Maybe we can do like science talks on certain
science segment.
Right. Get some other views. I mean, I've been wanting to start kind of like a podcast thing with my friends where you just shoot the shit, because there's so many people that like to that are like isolated, kind of like me, that can't have these conversations that they used to. They might tune in. You can even have them join, but have a topic or have a guest, like you and I could have a guest on, someone that we know that's in a specific field or something too. That would be cool.
Yeah, I thought the Max Movie Minute went down pretty well once we figured out the audio. I have to check out that old stop motion anime.
Yeah,
animation.
Remember Claymation? We used to play at your house downstairs.
Did we ever do stop? I was trying to remember, because I remember we did a Power Rangers remix, which was fantastic. But my favorite film that we did was The Weeding Man from Hell.
Oh yeah.
It was like the classic chainsaw.
I forgot. Yeah, we filmed a lot of stuff down in your what do they call them? What's the LDS storage spot? The Mormon storage spot.
The Mormon storage spot.
Pantry. It was like your downstairs pantry, basically.
Oh, wait, did we
Bottom
film?
of the stairs, right? Yeah, we filmed a bunch of shit in and out of there in your basement.
Oh shit, I don't remember that. I do remember the best shot of the Weeding Man from Hell. We like duct taped the camera on the front of the lawnmower, and you're like you're mowing the lawn. You're like, oh no, shit.
Oh, I forgot about that till now. That's great. Oh, that's fucking great.
Man, I would pay a good price if I could ever find that VHS.
We filmed a bunch of shit now that I think of it.
I can't remember anything else besides the Weeding Man from Hell and the Power Rangers.
Yeah, that might have been like the only like legitimate ones we made, but I think we filmed a lot of stuff. I remember having that camera. Or didn't we do some like Jackass type stuff where we would do?
Oh, we did that with Tyson Mertlick.
Yeah.
We were just like doing film-worthy stunts.
And then like unicycling, that's something we should have got into, man. We were like some of the first unicyclers of the 1990s, dog. That was like 4th grade when we learned that. You remember when we did that at Northridge? You invited me up there for that assembly, and we did some unicycling thing.
Wait, were you at the high school?
Yeah. That's when we didn't really talk anymore, but you invited me to do an assembly and we did a unicycling deal. You remember that?
I remember unicycling up on stage, but I don't remember you being there.
Yeah, you invited me to do that.
Man, that's
we had like a little like choreographed unicycling thing we were doing.
Damn. Wow, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how memories just can disappear like that.
That's
but
right.
Yeah, I remember unicycling. I remember, so there was like a pageant thing like that in junior high. Well, I think you would have been there because it was my 9th grade year. And my talent was, I just like lip synced this song. But this other guy, I can't remember his name, Chris or something, but he was going to unicycle for his talent. He was going to do a tall unicycle or something, but he couldn't even unicycle. So we came up with this idea. He had a full like motocross helmet and we had this similar outfit. So he comes out on stage and with a unicycle, he's like, goes up to the mic. He's like, oh, hold on a second. I need to go get my helmet. My mom says I need to put on my helmet. Goes backstage. I put on the helmet and then like I ride across the stage and do like some cool hop tricks and then like go off and like I did that for him. I don't know, like silly.
Shit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else we did kind of in the time that we fell off. That's what I can remember. I mean, we started making some music there for a little bit. You brought over the Barry over to Chase's place. You remember that? Yeah. Still try to make some music. That's one thing I really like to do. So I wish I would have. Honestly, the more I think about it, I wish I would have had your mom teach me how to play the piano. I wish I could play the piano so much because there's so much music you can make with the piano. So
seriously, I tried for a little bit. Like I was having my mom teach me for a little bit and like did it for a little, but it's tricky, man. Doing 2 different rhythms.
Oh yeah, it's not easy, man. That's something you got to start doing when you're young. 100%.
Well, I've got a little outro song, just like we had our intro song.
Who was the intro song? I like that.
It was American Dream, or The American Dream by BLU, Blue, and I think there was something else.
Oh, that's Blue? Okay, I don't know.
Blue and Exile.
Blue and Exile, that's right.
Oh, the link should be in the description. So
if you like that type of music, Wade, I can send you all kinds of stuff. I've listened to those folks for a long time.
Nice. Yeah, that song, I heard that and it just like really resonated with me. It's been one of my favorites for a while, but I just love the like my dreams are keeping me awake. And there's been so many nights where I'm trying to fall asleep and I've got this wacky idea in my head. This dream.
You've always been a super creative dude, man. So harness that. Harness your creativeness because it's lost. So many people have like that. Even the Wade the Wizard show. This whole thing is way more creative than most people are. Nobody wants to put themselves out there, do this type of stuff. That's something very cool about you and that I've appreciated about you my whole life is like the creativeness. You've kind of got, well, it's like same with like the ceramics for me. It's my creative outlets, music and some other things. But I think you're kind of more unique in your character and who you are. So I would say carry on, my friend.
Carry on, Jordan the Wizard. I think this is a good show. Well, that's all for this show. We're going to wrap it up.
Good to see you, folks.
This outro song, let me try and be a little more streamlined with this. Here we go.
Go into the fold and turn.
Roll the Aquabats.
Here's something to think about when things go wrong all the time. That luck can change like that high tide. That things can still turn out alright. Misfortune or tragedy, I can't seem to mind. Something can happen if you can just not find.
So when you think it's all the end, good things are just around the bend. Again, bad things are just a sign. Good things will happen in due time. And with each passing day, so goes another life. Everybody wants to live, some people want to die. So close your eyes, 'cause it's alright to say hello.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. This is to be our time. Let's think of what we leave behind.
Will they take
To last
or lose the memory of your past?
forever and ever, a wonderful thing.
Will someone be grateful for what we try to bring?
It's late. Just remember that this day
Will never come again.
Close your eyes. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Say close your eyes.
Everybody wants to live. Some people wait to die.
So close your eyes, 'cause it's alright
Right to say hello.
Good night. Good night. Hello.
Good night. Good night.
Hello.
Good night. Good night.
Hello.
Good night.
Good night. Everybody now. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. night.